There you go,
terrible.
Lance. You can clip this, Lance. Mauler and Rags both coming out in favor of super mega AIDS.
Clip this very serious discussion we have.
Yeah.
Let everyone know.
It's what I plan to run on for my.
Did you hear what that dog just said?
Politicians.
Disgusting.
This dog just came out in favor of super mega AIDS.
I can't believe it.
How do you feel about normal AIDS?
Not a fan. Not a fan.
We'll go back.
It's not.
Okay, Lauren, you can clarify.
Okay. So for another example of this and why it matters is some of the places called residential schools that retained the name residential schools well into the 80s and 90s were even run by native bands themselves. They were handed over. So if you're going to talk about how these residential schools were committing atrocities well into the 80s and 90s, then we're going to have to start punishing and asking for apologies from native bands themselves.
Excellent fucking point.
Yeah, totally.
Nailed it. When you umbrella term too much shit and then you paint them all with one brush, what she's pointing out there is Lance is actually like eventually going to force reparations to be provided from the people to the people. Like it doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Lance is not happy about that. Lance is like, oh shit, I can't believe
Like
she's saying this.
This
Taoist says band who held on to the residential school and ran it for 16 years. So yes, it does matter.
Dead silence. Dead silence.
I will. This is the thing, Lauren. Excellent point, and it's going to be tough to respond to that.
Lance is like two rabbits. You have a response for me?
Two
here?
rabbits. You haven't. Yeah, you haven't talked in a while. What's going on?
Lance is
passing it over to you.
How'd you get that name? I don't know.
He's looking over. His pedantic button has been broken because he pushed it too many times.
I know, it's like smashing.
He's like, twin rabbits, my button's broken. Come in, jump in here, tag in.
You got to repair it.
Attack bunnies, go.
Matter what happened and what these schools turned into later on.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again.
So good.
My God.
Either of you are free to respond.
Oh, sorry.
The moderator, the moderator, like you guys clearly thought you weren't allowed to talk. That's why you didn't speak. You see, now I'm letting you know you can indeed talk. Please talk.
I didn't know if Tails still here.
Oh, he does it. He does it.
Is that not wonderful?
Oh,
Serfs is literally drowning, and he's like, "Please help me! Like, I can't do anything with this." And
Lance was like furiously typing, trying to Google to find out some fact he could kind of get Lauren on. He's like, "Shit, I can't find anything." Twin rabbits, help me, save me!
Rabbit, go.
At this point, I'm just baffled. So,
thank you so much. You've given so much to this conversation.
Yeah, yads.
I'm just baffled.
We know, but continue.
We've denied the Indian Act. We've denied the removal policy. We've denied that because one guy said a bad thing incorrectly once, therefore all atrocities never happened.
Oh my God, Lance, you're such an
man.
asshole.
No,
you're such an actual piece of shit.
And rabbits.
Yeah,
it's a rabbit now. Lance took off. Lance is making his nuggies now.
Yeah, Lance is running away. But like, so at this point, see, I wonder if this is an extreme. Whereas in a moderator, you're supposed to, you might be like, okay, no, stop.
Yeah, at this point, as a moderator, I'd be like, look, Lance, I know we talked before on some things, but we just gotta, you gotta stop, man. We gotta keep some level of decorum on this this debate thing. What are you doing?
We've denied.
No one is saying no atrocities happened.
That's what we said. Wait.
That's what we said. See, and the moderator says, "Let him finish." Like, you're useless. You're not doing anything to help. Useless.
Let him finish.
Look at Sean. Sean is a better advocate for our show than we are. He's like, get us to 1,000 likes, everybody. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Like,
even though the definition of mass is big.
So
big.
If anyone isn't catching that, he's converted mass graves with a colloquial understanding of that to big graves. So do you guys know what comes under big amount of graves?
Graveyard.
Yeah. Cemetery.
So, those obese graves.
In all of our areas in the world, there's probably a mass grave near you.
That's true. I didn't realize. I was living next to a mass grave this whole time.
I didn't realize.
Look at Lauren's face.
Do something about this.
I know. I did the
Yeah,
the reaction shot. She's totally mystified by all of this. What is happening here?
As she should be. As she should be.
I mean, technically,
They haven't
mass
changed
just
since you've
means
been gone,
big.
Lauren. They haven't changed.
What a way to fuck this conversation. You split up the. It would be like if like we bring up a lot, but like the nurse shark. I'm like, Rags, that is an inaccurate fucking title because a nurse is a human being with a job.
It's an occupation held by human beings. That is ridiculous.
You are a fool, and you have denied a genocide.
Your critiques are
look,
poor.
At least Twin Rabbits is not being pedantic. Okay, this is not pedantry
Thank
here.
goodness.
At least he's being quiet.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I wouldn't mind hearing from him. You're like, no, I regret that.
Yeah,
Would you rather hear
immediately.
from Lance or Rabbits? It's like, why do you do this?
We'll see. At this point, the debate should have just been counterpoints and Lauren Southern. They could have just back and forth about their ideas on this subject, and it would have been more worthwhile.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been as
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't have been as fun.
So
They've actually
this
presented
point-
like things to consider and
Look at
ideas
Lauren.
about.
Right.
Lauren just losing
Oh
her
my
fucking
god!
shit.
Holy shit! Look at this.
Is she drinking,
The
what
reactions
is
are
that?
great.
Is that a White Claw she has? Is she gonna get white girl wasted because of
She's
this?
like, I need the drink because
She's
of
like,
that.
I need my
to be fair, right,
Chardonnay.
I
You
don't
know,
blame her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know how like if you are in her position, you might even get advised by friends. It's like you need to remain cool
need to
throughout
drink.
because you got to come across as really trying, and you're trying to reform a potential history or whatever. This is unbelievable. It's like, do I really have to put up with this? Like, this is like, am I hearing this properly? Like, I actually have to respond reasonably to the idea that now mass graves can be like categorized as a graveyard.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I think she's doing pretty good optics wise. I think if she was any less calm, cool, and collected, it might not be as good, because she is expressing, I think, what the audience is feeling, and I think mirroring the audience is a good rhetorical tactic.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think she's done pretty well.
Yeah, there's a time and place for a display of righteous indignation, and I think this is definitely one of them.
This is definitely it.
I'm just lost. What definitions are we even working with? I'd really like some clarification on some of this. I mean,
so is a graveyard a mass grave?
Right in there. Excellent.
Yeah.
Get right into the point.
Destroyed.
Fucking moron saying the graveyard's mass grave.
If we're going to throw out the Indian Act as even a discussable topic, then feel free. I have no trouble with that.
When was the
Then
Indian
feel
Act
free. I
ever
have no
brought up?
trouble with that.
I don't even know what the
Ideas.
Indian Act is. I haven't heard anyone mention it besides this guy. So
I was
don't know
actually
what's
going to
happening.
mention that. I was like, did I miss the part where they had that discussion? I don't remember it.
I mean, maybe it happened in his mind, but
Because as I was led to believe, the initial conversation was on restorative justice. If we're going to backtrack on that topic, okay.
Okay, we're not backtracking on shit. If you want to talk about that topic, then start talking about that topic. But like seriously, all right. So I literally took 10 seconds to Google the word mass grave. It says a pit dug in the ground to receive a large amount of corpses. If a lot of bodies are buried individually because they're dead, then is a cemetery a mass grave?
Do you have evidence that they were all individually dug, according to Lauren?
They calculated that there were individual bodies with the GPR.
Lauren, I got it.
to
I'm not
Lauren.
trying. Okay, let me not be a dick. Okay, I'm not going to be a dick. I'm just going to try to break it down. So
Are you both incapable of letting me finish a sentence?
You finished the fucking point.
I
We
didn't
heard
finish.
it.
You asked the question. If you're going to ask a question and keep talking, then don't fucking ask the question.
This is what I mean. The flow of the
Stupid rabbit.
conversation was
Should've
like
picked a better animal.
the flow of the conversation was very clear. It's like you've just equated these two things. He's like, you have proof that it was a graveyard and not a mass grave, and then the response to that was they were marked as individual graves, not a mass one. And he's like, you gonna let me finish? It's like, oh
no, you see, it was a rhetorical question. It wasn't an
Ah.
actual question.
I am
According to
perfectly
Lauren, only a few moments ago, we're talking about pits, right? According to Lauren, GPR is incapable of identifying bodies. So how would it know whether or not they were all buried at the same time?
Okay, so I'll
you wouldn't need to
You wouldn't need
identify
to.
necessarily this thing. I don't want to talk about my ass because I don't know
can't-
exactly how this system works, but if you couldn't identify organic material, you could still identify the size and shapes of the graves,
Right.
theoretically.
I bet
Exactly.
I'll put money on the idea that most of the graveyards you've seen, you have actually not even seen a single actual corpse. of those graveyards, and yet somehow you've been able to identify them as graveyards somehow magically.
The person that did the study said they
wouldn't.
The person that did the study said you wouldn't be able to determine anything without actually digging, without exhuming the graves.
And Lauren said that too.
Right. It's crazy to me that Twin Rabbits, who's supposed to be the indigenous voice on the panel, didn't take 5 seconds to read up on how GPR works for the course of this conversation.
Which is weird. It is really weird because it's only going to help you, like in making your points very clear.
Or just help you be more knowledgeable about what you're saying.
Help you not look stupid.
Yeah.
They are also the ones that are making the case that it's a mass grave, yet they don't have any evidence for that. But now they're trying to put it on them to prove that it's not a mass grave. Like that's where Rabbits is going now. Which is your argument.
Thanks, guys, for getting us to 1,000 likes, and thank you, Sean. Sean really put the team on his back.
Yeah, what's going on?
Thank you, Sean.
We've never had 1,000 likes before.
You haven't?
It's amazing.
I don't know.
Feel special now.
Not
That's
during
incredible.
the show, anyway.
Why can't? Yeah, we're the first ones. We did it.
Yeah,
that's right. You did it, not
was
Sean.
actually,
it was all.
It was totally me and Rat. I actually heard that you guys knew that you got voted as the EFAP you were on was voted the best EFAP of last year.
Yeah,
I will say.
That's right. That's impressive.
Celebrate.
Chicken
However,
nuggies.
Sitch, you also won the worst take of the third year.
What?
I knew it.
Really?
I knew it.
Bye. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.
Taking it too far, Sarah.
Come on.